Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Now, recently, a 25-year-old lady was appointed the youngest local government chairperson administrator in Nigeria. Hindatu Umar is the first woman and youngest person to hold the position in Agungu City in the northwestern state of Kebbi. She's also the city's first unmarried local leader. However, some residents have complained that Ms. Umar lacks the experience and boldness. This is because in the north, women usually are not holding these kinds of positions. Well, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. Now, who would like to go first on this story?
When I first heard about it, I was at first impressed that a 25-year-old will be considered in the northern part of Nigeria, which we all assume should be predominantly masculine, favoring masculine people or men for political position. Whichever way, it's a good one. But when I did further research and found out that she doesn't have a degree and she was an assistant before, that sort of buttresses what they're saying in terms of she's not experienced enough. She won't have the boldness to do the job. Sadly, she doesn't have a profile online, so we can't find out anything. And she's a Kebbi all the way, so what the information we have is strictly what the press releases to us about what is going on there.
Right.
Yesterday marked the World Girl Child Day, and Michelle Obama released the video, a CNN quotes video about how they are coming. 62 million girls are not in school and what they were doing. And I saw young children that will be termed semi-illiterate and how bold they are. So I don't believe that boldness will be termed in terms of education or not. And I'm happy that whichever way we look at it, it's a good thing that we have a woman
that's what I was going
in
to
this
say.
position.
I did watch the documentary on CNN yesterday. It's a girl from Liberia who finally gets a chance to go to school. But I guess I want to connect this story to the fact that it was International Day for Girl Child yesterday. Now, those who are advocating this campaign, do you think this is a development they are happy about? Or is it something you feel that they're like, we want you to give girls a chance, but not like this, not somebody who is inexperienced, not somebody who doesn't have a degree. We're saying give them a chance, not just have this trophy, okay, 25-year-old.
Just give one person.
Because, so, I mean, let me come to Jumakela, because I know you've been advocating for this girl child thing for some time now. Yeah. Is this something that makes you happy? Are you happy about it? Or you feel, you know what, it's better than nothing?
I am very happy about it, particularly because she's young. She does have a little experience in that she was deputizing for the former local government chairman. If she doesn't have enough experience or boldness on the job, she will get it. All of us learn on the job. And the truth about it is that leadership was also trusted on Benga Abiola, the Agege local government sole administrator in Lagos. Yes. Now, it's just a temporary position until elections are held. And so when you're giving young people that experience, even if it's just 3 months or 6 months until elections are held, you embolden them. You also say to the youth, and in Indatu's case, to women, that we're not going to discriminate against you. Once you merit it, we will put you there. Okay. It's a good thing. Anyhow you want to look at it.
Great. Well, do you agree with that, or do you think there should still be the place of experience, qualification, those prerequisite knowledge that you need for this kind of position? Because this is Kebbi State, this is Agungu City. That's a lot. That's where the Agungu Festival happens.
Yeah,
so it's a big community, and it's not something you just hand over to just anybody because either your relationship with I'm not saying she has a relationship. I'm just saying that it's not something you just take with levity. But what are your thoughts on this, Uwa?
I think every position of leadership should be one that you are well prepared for and well grounded in that position. Basing my own, this statement, I want to base it on that before I build on it. Now, I'm happy and excited that a young female girl child would be considered for such a huge responsibility. But what I am most unhappy about is the fact that I am seeing it more like, okay, everybody's saying girl child, girl child, girl child. Let us find a way to drive traction into our, what's it called, our state, and let us make our own mark in history, because of course BBC carried the news, you know, so something that will make us trend. That is how I saw the thing, because for me, if she was deputizing for the chairperson, and in that period, you know, of that deputizing, they saw that, okay, yes, this girl might actually have qualities for leadership. Why can't you get that person through a leadership school where the person will actually, you know, if you truly want to make her, because right now she's acting as a as a chairperson pending. Elections. So it means that even when the elections come up, she might not even be considered.
No, she won't be eligible.
She will not be eligible.
She will be allowed.
So
to,
why is it making news? So for me is that, you see, when I say women power, I am saying that women should go beyond just saying that because I am a woman, elect me. No, let us go and make sure that we build our portfolio. If Jumoke is elected tomorrow as a chairperson of somewhat, because she has a pedigree, she has her own portfolio, she would definitely stand strong. Right. So let us build ourselves first for leadership roles before we assume that role, so we don't go there prematurely.
Let me take Ayo from Port Harcourt. Ayo, are you there? Sorry for keeping you on.
Yes, I am.
Thanks. Please go ahead. Good morning.
My first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Please, I want to contribute to the appointment of the 25-year-old girl in Kebbi State.
Lady.
Hello?
Yes, 25-year-old lady. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. Well, the Constitution clearly states that the qualification you are talking about, I think she satisfies that she has a secondary school start.
Yes, and she has it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly. Please go ahead.
Yes, the Constitution is very clear. So you are mentioning about she's not a graduate, it's not a prerequisite for appointment as the chairman of the local government.
Okay. Yeah.
The same goes for state and even the president of Nigeria, except if an amendment will be made
of the Constitution. Fantastic.
So let's be very clear about that. And qualification is not a guarantee for performance.
True.
Let us get that straight.
Okay.
We have seen PhD do nothing.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to go ahead.
Yeah, talk away.
The issues surrounding the girl child in Nigeria is more than just about political position. The girl child in Nigeria is still struggling to get into basic education, the basic one. So yes, it's good that we have a 25-year-old that is a secondary school leaver, but at 25 you would expect that they should have been able to do more. If the opportunities are there for everybody. We still have a case of 1 in every 10 child is taken out of a girl child, 1 out of 10 male children. You know, so the ratio is sad, and we can do much more than this, but this is a positive ray of hope that other surrounding states should emulate. If you have any female that has the capacity to handle any position, that person shouldn't be discriminated upon because she's female
or she's young.
But we need to, the issues are beyond policy. It is more about the society, the people, the leaders in the community that would allow that, say, sit down at home, let your brother go to school.
All right, let me take Amos. Amos, are you there? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, the former minister of health, I don't want to ask the particular maybe said to apply, you know, the qualification, it can be put out or thereabouts. If how old was he when he married?
Sorry, you can't hear you.
We didn't hear.
A leader are born, and a leader can be built. You know, you can be born when you know you might inherit maybe for your parents. And the other side, you can go through the experience of training and all the other.
I can't hear him.
I hope they can hear at home. But I was going to harp on what the first caller mentioned, that I would have felt very, very sad if Hindatu Umar was skipped when they wanted to pick somebody to hold that position, because she had a profile, although we don't know what it is, that made her become deputy local government chair. Yeah. So she had experience because she had been working alongside the chairman. Yeah. And so when they needed somebody to hold the position, she was the one they thought about. So they did not discriminate against her with age, with education, because she has met the constitutional requirement. Now, unfortunately, holding that position now means that she's
She's not legible.
She's not legible.
No, she's legible.
No. She's illegible for
for
the election.
Yes.
As a sole administrator, you cannot contest local government election. What I hope she does is that she goes back to school. Now you have experience, you've held this position, you've made world news. Go back to school, and so that, you know, other girls can look up to you and say, if Hindatu can do it in Agungi, Agungu, you know, that I can also do it.
Please, can I just jump in? That she was able to do this because she was already working as she was serving. So a lot of women just complain that, oh, they don't give girls opportunity, they don't give women opportunity. But what are you doing? How are you serving? How effective are you where you are serving? So you can't complain if you were skipped when you rightfully are in the position to be considered for a job. True. But you must be positively added to your community, your environment, and your office, so that you're valuable.
So generally, we're happy about this. Yes,
we are.
I just wanted to add that for me, I think if the government is serious, because it seems like they want to give a chance for the girl child, and they want to give a chance for young ladies, you know, to assume positions of leadership, they should go a step further and say that children or female children that are interested, you know, they should start grooming them from now. There are ways you would show me that you're really serious, that it's not for photo ops. You know, you can start grooming them.
In that way, she starts mentoring people.
Yes, maybe have a leadership school where you can bring in experts, where they begin to teach them the skills of leadership and the qualities of a leader. So that is how you will show me that you are ready to build the state forward.
Yeah. Bakari says it's a welcome development for that to happen in the north. She needs more education, so she should pursue a degree. Taurik's rule says leadership position isn't about age nor academic qualification. Though having prerequisite experience helps in vital decision making. Kainde Fayoyin says politically is good, but the North would not do anything outside religion dictates, and they will see her as an usurper.
All right.
So let me just take one to it. Good luck, lady. Good luck to the young lady. You have been handed a rare chance to make a real change. Over to you.
Okay, very good. That's all we can take on that segment. When we come back, the issues still affecting the girl child is on Let's Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Now, yesterday, the world celebrated International Day of the Girl Child, and to commemorate, we address the challenges affecting the girl child, how to tackle them, and helping them achieve their goals despite the gender discrimination in this world. How can we empower the girl child to live better, their dreams? And joining us on the show today to discuss this is a girl child advocate and the executive director, Action Health Incorporated, Dr. Adenike Esiet. Welcome to the show again.
So we saw you last year. Good to see you again.
Please stop calling me doctor.
Mrs.
Adenike.
Oh, I do apologize.
And you don't get the doctorate in bed.
That's why Joaquin was laughing. I do apologize.
No, you are doctor by association.
I swear
You go earn it.
So we're talking about gender discrimination, gender equity. This is not a new campaign. The newest campaign now is the IDPs. But I know, at least I know the girl child was a major campaign in the last few years. Where are we today in Nigeria on this issue?
I think we've still got a long way to go. A lot of progress has been made. I think that's something that we always need to acknowledge. There are more opportunities for girls. But if you look in the wider scheme of things, there's still greater work to be done than how far we've come. You mentioned the IDP camps. We know that all over the world with IDP camps, more than a quarter of the people who suffer the most harm in the IDP camps are women, and especially younger women.
Yeah, they go through rape and...
The risks are higher for them. The risk of being violated sexually, of unintended, unwanted pregnancies, of every kind of discrimination a girl faces.
I wanted to bring in an angle because just recently I had a training on gender issues.
Okay.
And I think I have a clearer picture of where the gender equity campaigners are coming from. Because we've had people coming, oh, I'm a feminist, you know, and people are confusing it to meaning that we're trying to say women should now be above the man, or women should be given the role, or you know,
equal
rights, that kind of thing. And so that's where the confusion has been. As a girl child advocate, because it starts from as a girl to the woman, and the culture, the religion, those things, those influences that affect what happens to the woman. I want you to help us understand, get that clarity. Help people out there understand what exactly this girl child advocacy is about, compared to culture, religion, and those virtues they've sold to us as in our culture.
I think the most important thing to recognize is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with expecting girls to be equal to boys.
Okay.
We should not be apologetic about it.
Okay.
Boys are created equally as girls are created equally.
Okay.
The issue at hand is that we have traditions and culture largely that make it impossible for girls to aspire to accomplish as much as boys can aspire.
Okay.
And no one is saying one should override the other. We're all saying that we should be equal. Bottom line. And we find ourselves in a situation where for much of what the traditions are, it's like basic expectation. A girl can't accomplish as much as she has the potential to accomplish. That's not just bad for the girl, it's bad for the whole of
the country.
For all of us, for every community. Girls make progress, the world makes progress. And we can't leave half the world behind, being stuck in a place that girls can't accomplish as much as boys. So for those of us who say that girls need to be given opportunities, we're saying, you know, opportunities for education, there are 4 clear things that we need to think about when we're talking about discrimination against girls. Access to education. Education makes all of the difference. You know, a girl who's educated, it's very likely that her child will go to school. She'll have better chances of earning, you know, more income, which means good life for her family, even her siblings around her. So education is important. Health is also extremely important. We know that one of the key tasks of adolescents, developmental tasks of adolescents, is sexual maturation. So you find within the 10 to 19 year age bracket, girls are more predisposed to dropping out of school because of just being a girl. The likelihood of her being exploited once she starts developing everything that she's supposed to develop is higher. Unwanted pregnancy comes down the line, violation, even in the context of school, is right there. So we need to pay attention to those sexual and reproductive health issues.
You were here with us last year, and you reeled out some scary statistics of lack of education, of young girls being out of school in Lagos, based on this, of the research you did in Makoko, in Iwaya. How young girls were pregnant, dealing with mother-in-law issues. How has it improved in the past 1 year? Are we better off in Lagos within that community? How has it improved?
I think I'm very excited that there's been change from the last time I was here. There's still thousands of girls in Lagos who are marginalized. But the good news is that Lagos State, from that point in time till now, has in place now a plan of action for empowering out-of-school adolescent girls. It's fantastic because now the state knows that we have to have programming in place to deal with those 4 key areas I've mentioned: education for those who are out of school, access to health services, opportunities for livelihood, education and skills development, and social protection. So the situation is better in terms of a policy framework for action.
Which is key. Yes, Ua.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, because I do things that are involved with mind programming and how the mind can eventually affect who you become. There's also a place where these girls have decided that I love what I see, because we talked about mental disorder yesterday. I love what I see. I see a Kim Kardashian and I want to be like her. And I am not interested in going through all these things that you're saying. I don't want to empower myself. I just want to be a sex worker and I want to live a good life. So where do we draw the line, or how do we help?
Yeah.
Because, and are we doing programs that are helping to shape the minds? Yes, because the culture has shaped their minds to think that, okay, they are only good with kitchen work and all that. But there is one that they have by themselves, inflicted on themselves to say, this is what I want to aspire to become. So how do we help? Do we just leave them aside, or we still have help for those kind of girls? Because I know those ones are much more in number.
No, I beg to disagree that they're
no, especially in the university setting.
Well, let's leave the girls in university.
The normal girls.
Let's talk about the girls who are the most vulnerable, the most marginalized. I hear you. I hear you very well. But it would be a distraction to focus on the minority in this case. It will be a real distraction to focus on the minority in this case. Girls who decide that that's what they want to do, I think they have a choice to do that. What we need to pay attention to are the girls that don't have any options, that we have not created opportunities for. And those girls are still in their hundreds across Nigeria, especially in our urban centers. You know, it's surprisingly, you know, and demographers are saying that Nigeria is becoming more urban than rural because everybody is looking for the good life in the cities. But we're creating new poverty in the cities just as we go along. And this, Lagos has acknowledged that there are over 100 slum communities around Lagos State.
And still counting.
My church went to Dustbin Estate this past weekend. The young ladies went on mission. And you could look down as far as the eyes would go and you will see shanties of people living, toileting out there, you know? And the first thing that came to my mind was, how do you start with the basic concept of hygiene in this community? Hand washing. There's a long way to go. And we would distract ourselves if we focus on those girls. Those girls need, you're doing a great job. Those girls need empowerment.
Well, let me rephrase that question. Hang in there, because I wanted to drive it all elsewhere, especially because this campaign for the girl child somehow looks ineffective. And the reason I say that is because it seems as though who we need that mind change is the parents or even the fathers. Because they are born into these communities where you are empowering the girl child, but the people, they are still under somebody's roof. Those men or women or the parents must have a new thinking where, you know what, I can't afford it, I don't have school, I don't have money for school. Okay, but education I know is important. Go for free education. If anybody harasses you, let me know. How do we educate these parents or these father figures to know the importance of
mothers as well?
I think that's a very important point you've made. For many of the girls who are not in school, it's because their parents have prioritized their labor over their learning. They ask themselves, what's the point of sending her to school when today we can't eat? We say that education is free. There's a universal basic education policy. And we forget that there are hidden fees. The cost of uniform. No, they don't pay fees. There's no tuition. But books. Fees for exams. The one that really gets at me is a girl who's already gotten as far as SS2. And when it's time to take the West African Examination Council exams, last day of school, so many girls drop out because the cost is significant. So girls who've managed to come that far, year 11, drop out of school, and nobody does anything about it. The cost of lunch while you're at school.
Exactly.
The cost of who's taking care of the other siblings. And we know that in this family,
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. In many of these families where the girls don't go to school, it's poverty.
Okay, let me pause you. Let me take Olarinwaju. Are you still there, Olarinwaju?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I'm happy. You guys are doing very great.
Thank you.
Hello. I also like Jimmy, Mariah. Good morning. I like your program so much.
Thank you.
Though, concerning the topic that we're trying to... Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Concerning the topic, it depends on mentality and also concerning the cultural background, then beliefs too.
Yes, you're right. That's what I was
doing. Because I wanted to drive home my point better in a better way. Because you see, no matter how much you say that girls in slum, some of them don't aspire, some of them, even in the midst of that dirt, because their mind, you know, they see a better future for themselves. So they are able to rise above without even help from anybody. There are some people that have that self, motivation to aspire to be someone, but some don't have. So, but let me shove that one aside. Now, the place of the girl child now, for instance, we are saying that some of them dropped out at SS2 because they couldn't write their exams. It always brings me back to the question of skill acquisition. I hear a lot of people coming to say they are giving skill acquisition, whatever training and all that. At the end of the day, they are frying puff-puff, they are giving them grinding machine and all that. Is that really, really empowering that girl child to be able to stand strong and make enough money, for instance, for things like this, that she can save? So I believe skill acquisition, like for instance, business management, so many things that they should be taught so they can gather enough income to be able to self-sustain.
Point taken.
No, I'm asking, like, okay, what kind of skills are they being exposed to?
I think you've made a very good point. It's not just to teach the basic skills of catering or, frying puff-puff, as you've said. There's also starting from the point of financial literacy.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you save money? How do you make money? The value of money when you get to save it. Business skills. Where do you go to look for help? How do you register your business if your business needs to be registered? These are the missing links. But, when you have, let me not go into Yoruba and, all the wise sayings that we have. Onipeti, igibawo lugi. Meaning if trees fall over themselves, you would raise the one on top of it first. So let's take them to the point of basic literacy, numeracy, a skill to make an income, business education, entrepreneurship education,
Right. And then take it from there.
And that's the way to go.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we still have our guests here with us. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Yes, we needed that.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Yes, Tokwe, you had a question.
We have a lot of commercials that raise awareness about HIV/AIDS, raising awareness about other social vices, cancer awareness, but we don't have commercials like telling you, send your child to school. Your girl child is your future. So what are you doing to bridge that gap in terms of, I know you're reaching out to people that they don't watch TV, but then some people that are watching TV can be impressed with the statistics and decide to take up that course. You're one in a million people that could do this, and we'll reach out to more if we have more people like you doing this. So how are you bridging that gap?
I think that's a very important point, and this is where the private sector needs to come on board on these programs. Action Health Incorporated is a non-profit. We raise resources to do the work we do. So we always have to ask ourselves, where's the best place to make use of the limited resources you have access to? We know it takes a lot to have public service announcements or programs on TV, but the corporates can do a lot,
We are supporting.
Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to be able to talk about it here. We're not talking about fashion.
Yes. Let me pause you for a second. Laja Martins, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Am I still on here?
Yes. We're here. We're listening to you.
Okay. Let me say it loud and clear. I have three girls, beautiful girls. I have three beautiful girls. Okay. But I want to reiterate and I want to emphasize that there is no alternative to education. Education is the key word. Whether you are a hairdresser, you are a sewing machine, you are a sewing mistress, or whatever, you are a salon maker or dresser or whatever, education is key. We must be educated. Effort must be made to make every female child to have a school certificate.
At least.
That is the basic thing in this land. If you are not educated, no matter what it is, buy you grinding machine, buy you hairdressing something.
The business will crumble.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martins. Thanks for your call. Yes,
my one and only question: how can we, the citizens, help? you seem alone in this, you know, and I see the limitations of what your resources can do. You know, I also see government support for you. How can the citizens jump on this?
I'd like to first of all say that I'm not alone in this. There are many non-profits and individuals who are very interested in these issues, but we need more people to come on board. You know, so that's why I jumped. I don't like coming on television, but I jumped at this opportunity just because it provides an opportunity to put it out there to many people. We all have a responsibility. As individuals, we're doing our bits on our job. In our communities, we have a right to make
Ask
noise.
Questions.
Make noise if we find a girl who should be in school that's out on the street. Ask the parents. Shame parents to say that, you know, it's not right. Your child is supposed to be in school. What is she doing here? The media has a responsibility to continue to write stories about these girls who are hidden and left behind when a country is supposed to be making progress. And let's remember, we've just, you know, acceded to the Sustainable Development Goals. Our countries are not going to be able to accomplish those goals if we don't pull girls along with us.
All right, let me take this call from Ayo from Agege. Are you still there?
Yes.
Good morning, Ayo. Please go ahead. Thanks for calling.
I'm with you. Good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I tried so much the other time you brought the deputy governor. I was unable to reach you. But this is another opportunity today. We're talking about the girl child. The last caller from Ikorodu spoke very well. That's fine enough, education. But remember, if you give every girl child even a first degree minimum, if the environment is not permitting, it's just the same waste. The environment first. Education is very, very important and paramount. But the environment, what happens to the environment? Where are the abilities, where are the structures that makes that girl child develop? You see, in the civilized world, just common, let me use that word, common creative arts takes children to high extreme. Because the environment has been provided with necessary amenities. But here, you find schools, even some schools have no blackboard or writing board. Some have no chairs. A little child of about 5, 6 years has to cross the road herself to go home. So what is the girl child about that?
All right.
And regarding the local government girl,
yes,
I do not think there's anything wrong about that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
What I wanted to raise is part of what he just said. Because I know that if you go to developed countries, you know, and maybe it's school season, and they see a child, whether boy or girl, because they hold, I think, first of all, it's placing value on human life.
Yes.
And if our society does not place value on human life, the children will not be any different.
Okay.
Do you understand? So why can't we advocate more for children generally? That if I catch any child right now that is school season, if we catch any child on the streets or maybe in a mall or whatever, we arrest that child.
Okay,
Until, I think it would help in educating.
Point taken. But see, we've spent quite a bit of time on the role the government can play, the communities can play. But there's another part of it that we've not talked about, the discrimination of the girl child as a girl in the first place. For example, in a home, something as basic as you are the oldest child, you're a girl, and you have little boys as young boys. But when your father is going out, he gives responsibility to the house to your brother because he's a boy. You are the girl, you're supposed to be in the kitchen or in the house. They say, oh, you girl, stay in the kitchen. The boys will lounge and watch it. Those little things also reinforce.
It's still happening.
It happens. It also reinforces your role as a girl. And even when you go out in the community, you still feel like, okay, I should take the back seat.
I agree.
In every
and that's why a boy will even say, I'm a man. I'm a man. Why are you talking to me like that?
In that area, what are we also doing in educating? I mean, it goes back to educating families, but the idea is that the mentality has to change generally for the girl child's role to be appreciated and understood. Yes, let me let you come in.
A lot has to come. You know, the family is the bedrock of every society. So a lot has to change within the family. We say in sexuality education that parents are the primary sexuality educators of their children. Because when we say sexuality, it means the total you, whether feminine, whether male. What are the roles assigned in this family? Even if you don't say anything, children are watching. What does the father do? What does the mother do? If the mother speaks up, is she shut down not to speak? You know, if she steps out and says, oh, this is my opinion, how is our opinion valued? The boys are learning, the girls are learning. So families have a major role to play. The education system also has an important role to play. What are our books telling our children in terms of
movies? Now the girl is supposed to be a wife.
On television, this is my latest aggravation. Girls' bodies are for commodification.
Thank you.
Music videos just have girls shaking their bodies. It's also socialization. Girls are looking at it and saying that maybe this is the way to go.
Thank you.
You know? So society really has to wake up and say,
shape the mind. I want to just add to you that we are 21st century parents, and that is why, in terms, anybody that knows me knows that parenting is one of my strong points. The truth is that we are changing that notion that a boy's role is something and the girl's role is in the kitchen. We need to change that.
Olorushola Oludare says, as a nation, we have what can go round for everybody. A nation living in mirage. Joseph says, not only poverty causes being a dropout, the parents don't see it as important. Taurisu says, Dr. Adenike Esiet is...
She's not doctor.
Is on point.
I have to go to school.
I think girls are more caring than boys, and they know how to pamper their parents.
Control says, a home is not complete without a girl child, just as God said in the beginning that it is not good for man to be alone. Kafila says, mind you, not all girls who do well in school. Those that exhibit the characteristics of learning traits should also be encouraged early. Princess Ify says, what is the qualification of indeed most office holders from the north? It is clear that region, religion, and gender are key setbacks here.
Okay, we have to round up. So what are the last comments? And you gave us this pamphlet from Lagos. Are this free?
Oh yes, this is free. This is, and it's downloadable online on the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation's website and Action Health's website. It's the new plan launched at the end of last month by Lagos State to empower girls in marginalized communities or girls who are marginalized. It outlines policy actions that need to take place, opportunities for partnership, not just the role of government, but the role of families, the private sector, and business.
Want to pick it up at the Women's Affairs?
Or download
Fantastic.
online.
Thank you very much. It's always a great pleasure having you here.
It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's all we can take on the show today. Obviously, we need to play our roles in helping to develop the girl child. Don't forget also, the best cure for breast cancer is early detection. Kindly ensure you get tested today. Have you been tested recently?
Oh yeah, annually.
Oh, fantastic.
After 40, you have to get your test annually.
All right, have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.